They do not have the right to make that game and completely avoid criticism. And by refusing to stand behind their own product and its philosophy, virtual sexy women are fun, they are the ones who are in the wrong here. This whole situation reminds me of Hideo Kojima bending over backwards to explain why we should all be ashamed of ourselves for thinking Metal Gear Solid 5's bikini-clad sniper Quiet was supposed to be a sex object. Instead, he concocted some ludicrous explanation as to how she had to breathe through her skin and wear revealing clothing because of that, instead of just saying, I enjoy incorporating scantily clad women into my games, which is pretty clear to everyone at this point. You know what, Paul, you're right. You know, that stupid nip in his excuses, am I right? Why can't the Japanese just design their games with Marxist theory in mind? Kojima squirming around the issue and Koei Tecmo hiding behind a shield of potential criticism implies that they think they are doing something wrong. If they want to feature women in their games that are clearly sex objects or meant to be objectified, you fucking cunt, they have to defend that philosophy of game design. Turning tail and running away only implies that they know that they have no place in this modern era. You have no idea how fascistic you sound right now. I just don't understand how people can be mad at critics about this issue. Critics can criticize anything. Critics pan every Transformers movie, yet they still keep being made because the audience still wants to see them and they make money. No piece of art will cease to exist because of professional criticism alone. Fuck yourself, Paul. We've been hearing this since the early aughts, and it continues to be apologist bullshit. If there's another issue at play here, that's fine. Sending Japanese games to the West is a costly process, and Dead or Alive Extreme 2 wasn't exactly a blockbuster hit. With a 53 Metascore and a 6.2 from users, it could be a real concern that the game simply would not perform well enough in the West to justify the cost of getting it there. And you're a journalist. Why don't you ask the fucking developer? I'm going with what they said on the matter, not just my own assumptions, because I'm not an arrogant cunt. Yes, from my perspective, Dead or Alive Extreme 3 seems horribly immoral, as things are getting more moral overall in the treatment of females in video games, and Extreme 3 is about as immoral as you get. No, I wouldn't really shed a tear if this immoral series didn't come west or cease to exist altogether. Yes, I am not calling for its execution, nor am I trying to ban it from our shores. It has the right to exist, and simultaneously has the right to be criticized. To say that it shouldn't be allowed to be criticized, now that's what we call censorship. Nothing to see here, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. The same line that has been fed to gamers for years and years. And again, another journalist circling the wagons for these fucking lunatics. I only wish the press gave as much of a shit about protecting consumers from the industry as they do about backing some of the shittiest, most corrupt people that are a part of this artistic medium. Why protect them, Paul? Why? Why sympathize with them and not us? You've had ample opportunity to give an iota of pushback to these fucking scumbags, these moralist assholes, but not one sentence in this article do you choose to do that. It's all about how we and the company are a bunch of fucking shitbags. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about, and yet you do. When what you're arguing for is the same apologist bullshit that I've heard from Jim Sterling and 1,000 other fucking idiots. You are doing and saying the same fucking things. And on the word, you're the regressive here, Paul. Your morality doesn't dictate shit. You're not an authority. Your positions are illiberal. And you're not going to save these fictional characters as they don't exist. But you will censor art for the sake of your ideology. You may not be able to grasp this, but you are an ideologue. You are a fanatic. You see your morality and perspective on this issue as the only valid line of thought. By itself, that's fine, but you're a journalist that gives legitimacy to putting ideology over artistic expression. You may be a progressive, but you are not a liberal on this issue. I suspect the real reasons for Extreme 3's reluctance to export has to do with costs and a potentially limited audience pool. Are you so fucking lazy, Paul, that you can't send a fucking email to the publisher? If I draft one for you and send it to you, do you think you can find the energy to forward it? But feminist critics are a convenient, timely scapegoat, and in a way quickly rally the fury of Gamergate to their side. By deflecting blame onto critics, they're managing to avoid having to stand behind their own product, their bouncy, tanned, giggling product. You're straw-manning gamers, not just Gamergate. You're strawmanning gamers that want ideology out of this artistic medium. This is nothing but detrimental to gaming. And I want you to fucking defend that. I want you to defend Marxist theory criticism of fucking games. I want you to fucking defend it. Because all this says is nothing to see here and shut the fuck up. This is a non-issue. This is all to do with a business decision, as is becoming the talking points for ideologues and fucking apologists. And you are completely shifting the burden for whose fault this is from at the fucking feet of these goddamn Marxist theory so-called critics, these pseudo-intellectuals. You're taking the fucking fault at their feet and you're shifting it to the fucking company themselves, who are making the game, the artists. You're the fucking journalist here. You should be sending the publisher a fucking email. You should be looking for a comment by them, not just fucking editorializing about this issue. You have the fucking backing of Forbes to fucking do this. But you choose not to. Instead, you assume the motivations of this company. And that's where I'm just going to wrap this up. His article speaks for itself. This is nothing more than apologist drivel by a fucking ideologue. And you know what? I don't have a problem with this. You keep it up, Paul. You keep exposing yourself as someone that should be shamed and shunned out of fucking gaming. Because you're a hack. You're a fucking ideologue. You are someone that is playing apologetics for people that are scumbags, for people that are fucking fascists. You are defending the indefendable instead of fucking artistic expression. And that speaks for itself.